Hey everybody, it's Chance here with yet another video game. This time it is PARANORMASIGHT The Mermaid's Curse. That's right, they made another PARANORMASIGHT game, which is a big day for me. I literally didn't know they were making a second one. So the other day, I guess I don't watch any of the video game expo things or anything like that. So maybe at one of those they announced that the game was coming out soon or something like that, because people were like PARANORMASIGHT 2, and I was like PARANORMASIGHT 2, and the next thing I knew, people were playing PARANORMASIGHT The Mermaid's Curse. Very exciting moment for me. I'm very excited to play another PARANORMASIGHT game. I did recently get a PARANORMASIGHT zine, about a month ago or so, for the first game. So the timing also, it's funny because it's I pre-ordered it a while ago, and it finally arrived, yippee! But it's again, big day for people like me because a lot of artists I were in that zine and new PARANORMASIGHT game. I'm very excited. Let's get right into it. My apologies for the wait. Welcome. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the storyteller, your guide to the world of PARANORMASIGHT. Now, then, I understand that you might be keen to dive into our story, but there are some important matters I must address first, so please bear with me a while longer. First, this game uses autosave. The game will automatically save at regular intervals, so you may stop playing at any time. Now, please take a look at the upper right of the screen. This is the menu button. We can do various things. Oh, there are profiles. I don't remember if that was in the first game. I think there was. But I don't really remember. It's been a minute. From here, you can check the text log, view files, or adjust your settings for auto mode. You can also adjust the volume and other game settings in the options menu. If you find that certain effects make the text difficult to read, you may turn them off. I recommend you check the brightness controls and other settings now before continuing. Alright. Let's see. It's pretty visible. It's I want to just keep it at the default, but also it says till the right is barely visible, which means I just put it on complete darkness because the game's kind of on the brighter side of things. Okay. I'm now just looking at the recording because I think my recording one is a little darker. Okay, well, I think this works for me. And I think, yeah, okay, anything interesting that they have. Because before there was a voice in the audio, and that was a game mechanic. Okay, vibration, speed. Music, volume, effects. More or less standard. Is there high? No. Files updated. Open updates page. How to play. Mouse. What is this place? Do not fear, you will come to know where we are eventually. Once you have seen everything an option has to offer. Who am I? Oh, so you've forgotten who you are, have you? But there is no need for concern. It is for that reason that I am here to guide you, after all. You may be confused at first, but continuing through the story should allow you to remember your true objective. This is all for my explanation of the basic controls. I will explain other essential functions when the time is right. Yes, there's one more thing I wish to confirm before we continue. As you may know, I previously served as a guide to one of the different tales of the world of Paranormasight, one concerning the 7 mysteries of Honjo. You wouldn't happen to be familiar with the events of that tale, would you? I am familiar! I see. You are familiar with what transpired during the incident in Honjo. In that case, there is nothing I need to warn you about. Well, I believe I have kept you waiting long enough. The tale you are about to experience concerns a number of legends down in Ise Bay, a stretch of sea bordering Mie Prefecture. Specifically, those legends involving mermaids. Yes, as the subtitle suggests, our subject this time is a widely familiar mermaid. Since ancient times, a great many legends about mermaids have been passed down in countries all over the world. In Japan, many of the legends famously include the idea that eating their flesh grants immortality. The tale of the Yao Bikuni, which continues to be told in such places such as the Wakasa province, a modern-day Fukui prefecture, is perhaps the most well-known. These legends have served those with yearning for immortality to seek out mermaids since ancient times. Of course, as I just mentioned, these are only some of the legends concerning mermaids that exist across the globe. Indeed, many have sought out mermaids simply due to fascination with their status as rare and mystical beings. They have also served as inspiration for the countless creative and artistic works throughout the ages. It would seem that mermaids possess a mysterious charm that has captivated the human heart for a myriad of reasons, irrespective of era or culture. Mie Prefecture is... okay, let's... oh, and they got a new tab. Okay. Mie Prefecture is located in the eastern part of the Kii Peninsula in central Honshu, the Japanese mainland, and falls within both the Chubu and Kinki regions, measuring 150 kilometers from north to south and 80 kilometers east to west. It has a narrow, elongated shape and is known for its rich natural diversity that differs greatly from its northern and southern regions. The varied, abundant nature of the Mie Prefecture has led it to be known as the Land of Great Beauty since ancient times, even back when it was still known as the Ise Province. It was also purported to be the land whither repair of the waves from the eternal world, which led to the establishment of Ise Shrine as a place of enshrinement for the goddess Amaterasu. The eternal world is said to be a realm across the sea separate from the ones which we live, once often described as an eternal paradise. Ise was seen as the land where the waves from this world continually broke, connecting the material world and the world beyond. Famous spots and scenic vistas in the Mie Prefecture. Ise Shrine. A Seiji route of the Kumano Rokoto, a series of ancient pilgrimage routes. Birthplace of the Iga Ninja Clan. Birthplace of the Isehai Clan. Suzuka International Racing Course. Toba Aquarium. Ise Shima Natural Park. And many more. Local specialties of the Mie Prefecture: pearls, Ise lobsters, abalone, turban shells, oysters, and other marine products, Ise udon, matsusaka beef, and many more. Ise Bay. Also known as the same of the Sea of Ise, Ise Bay is an enclosed bay on the central Honshu, the Japanese mainland. Although its exact range varies, in this game it refers to the area of the sea surrounded by the line up to the line drawn up by Cape Irago in Aichi Prefecture and Cape Dao in Mie Prefecture. Alright. Mermaids. Flyer of a mermaid, also known as a karai. Woodblock print from Pawara Ban borrowed sheet. A general term for a half-human, half-fish being. The first recorded appearance in Japan of a creature believed to be a mermaid was more than 1300 years ago, in the Nihon Shoki, Chronicles of Japan. At the time, the term mermaid was not yet in use, and most records are anecdotal, reportings of sightings and creatures resembling both fish and human in various places. In ancient Japan, as well as in other parts of East Asia, depictions of mermaids often blurred the line between human and fish, frequently portraying them as grotesque monsters. In the Middle Ages, saw the spread of the legend of Yao Bakuni, all throughout Japan, which claimed that eating mermaid flesh could grant eternal youth and longevity. In the early modern period, the image of the mermaids diversified, attracting wider public interest. Mermaid mummies were exhibited in sideshows, and illustrations of literature featuring mermaids became more common. It was also during this time that the depiction of mermaids as having an upper body of a human and lower body of a fish became more widely recognized. Let's see, Kunisada, Utagawa, Hoshiki Okadaga, Miracles of Canon. Adapted from the National Library of Japan's official website. Arnold Boecklin, Prey of the Nerdies, 1886. Although the details vary from country to country, the most common depictions of mermaids in the West likely stem from the sirens of Greek mythology, sea monsters that, over time, became repressed as the familiar half-fish, half-human figures. These mermaids were sought to be more akin to spirits or fairies in nature, enchanting those who encountered them with their beautiful feminine appearance and singing voices. Many records of mermaid sightings by sailors during the Age of Discovery have been preserved, and some of the theories suggest that mermaid sightings and their associated legends may in fact have originated from a sea mammal called a dugong. Alright. Ah, yes, the files data just now should provide a general overview of terms that just came up in our conversation. It seems you have already taken a look, but I do recommend reading them if you have the chance. They allow you to enjoy the story even more. Words highlighted in pale blue usually indicate that there is a related entry in your files. Now then, allow me to introduce the primary setting of this tale. The majority of our story takes place on Kamishima, an isolated island in the waters of Ise Bay. Open updates page. Kamishima. An island situated between the Atsume and Shimu peninsulas, and is most distant from the four populated islands of the administration of Toba City in Mie Prefecture. It has an area of approximately 0.7 square kilometers and a population of about 900. The island's name comes from the turtle-like shape, with kame meaning turtle in Japanese. Oh, it does look like a turtle, that's cute. Famous for its karst landscapes and other beautiful scenery, Kamishima is a popular location for tourists year-round. Recently, the island's youth organization has been leading a revitalization effort to boost the local economy and strengthen the community, creating an island logo and mascot character, Kamishimaru, which is expected to bring more people to the area. You will experience an events through the eyes of a young resident of the island, one Yuza Minakuchi. If nothing else, please remember that. Okay. Well, I believe this ends my initial explanation. Bon voyage and do enjoy the tale. I like how he was just like, oh, well, if you played the first game, you don't need my warning. It's been a while, but I'm glad that they can just be like, yeah, we're just going to throw you into it. Bye! This is a work of fiction based on existing locations and legends. Please note that one of the locations that appears in this game, Kamishima, is a fictional island with no counterpart in reality. Did you come to me, or did I go to you? I cannot recall whether it was a dream or reality. I cannot recall if I was asleep or awake. The Tales of Ise, Passage 69, Kari no Tsukai. Right, this should do it. All good to go, Yuzo? Yep, as ready as I can be. I feel so light, I bet I could even outswim a shark. No more than that. I was born for this moment. The legend of Kamishina's patron saint of diving begins today. Kamishima Youth, Yuza Minakuchi. Apprentice Ama diver, 18 years old. A young man born and raised in Kamishima, although generally quiet and serious. He has an eccentric side that often makes him seem weird. It makes him... A young man born and raised in Kamishima, Although generally quiet and serious, he has an eccentric side that often seems to make jokes and wisecracks with a straight face, catching whoever he is talking to off guard. After losing his parents in the large-scale maritime accident 5 years ago, he was raised by his grandmother, a veteran ama diver Suya Minakuchi. He briefly found work at a seafood processing plant in Toba after graduating high school earlier in the year, but upon hearing that Suyu had injured her leg, forcing her to retire from diving and causing difficulties in her daily life, he quit his job after only 3 months and returned to Kamishima. At present, he is caring for Suyu while looking for work at Kamishima, and he has recently made the decision to follow in Suyu's footsteps and become an ama driver himself. Although he has been unable to bring himself to enter the sea since the disaster 5 years ago, he is hoping that his previous aptitude for swimming will lend himself to the natural talent for ama diving. His current diver rank is 1. Quiet and introverted as a child, he began to show more of an animated side upon befriending Azami Kumoi, a boy his same age, and it eventually became a common sight to see them getting up to mischief together. Although the maritime disaster 5 years ago saw a drastic shift in the way most Kamishimans inhabitants treated Yuza, Azami alone continued to treat him the same. Even now, it's not uncommon for Azami to find himself caught up in Yuza's eccentric exploits, but he is always quick to laugh and follow his lead. Whoa, that sounds pretty impressive, but this is your first time diving out in the bay, so don't put yourself too hard, right? Yeah, I know. It's my first time, but somehow I'm brimming with confidence. I just know I can land a massive haul if I try. Well, I'm glad to see you're raring to go, but make sure you don't go too far for the boat this first. Sami Kamoi, fisherman, 19 years old. A young man born and raised in Kamishima, he has been friends with Yuza Minakuchi since childhood. He has a friendly and caring personality, and his willingness to help those around him have made him someone islanders of all ages rely on in times of need. His father was a fisherman, and he accompanied him out to sea on his boat from a very young age. As a result, he grew up never doubting that he, too, would one day become a fisherman. After his father died in a maritime disaster 5 years ago, his mother, an ama driver, took on the responsibility of raising Azami and his much younger brother on her own. During the closed season for diving, when his mother worked on the mainland, Azami was responsible for looking after his brother. After graduating middle school, he refused his mother's suggestion to attend high school and quickly obtained a 4th-class boat license, while helping fishing around the island. He is now able to take his mother's small fishing boat, the Sayon Maru, out on fishing trips on his own. He has a frank, easygoing relationship with Yuza, his childhood friend, and the two often get up to mischief together. Although he was happy for Yuza when he left to attend high school on the mainland and later found a job there, he also felt somewhat lonely. For this reason, he secretly welcomed the news that Yuza would be leaving his job and returning to Kamishima to care for his grandmother. No need to worry, Azami. You just focus on getting the grill ready. We're going to be having a feast tonight. I'll do that. There's a diving minigame. The diving minigame will now commence. Follow the instructions to get used to the controls, then press dive when you're ready. Okay, there's a diving... Oh, wow. Okay, we have diving, swimming, gathering, searching. Start. Oh, hey. I love the way... I forgot how the first game did the framings, too. It's just they do these 2D sprites, but they do it in 3D space to kinda... It's very cool. Okay. Okay. Begin. Okay. Only 2 controls are needed. Stick. Look around. Confirm button. Perform action. The available action will automatically switch between swim, harvest, and return to boat, depending on the situation. Areas where sea creatures are located will be marked with an exclamation point. Begin by looking around to try to locate any of the potential catches. Okay, okay. There's a lot over there. Okay. Come on. Okay. Okay. The oxygen gauge will decrease when diving. Be sure to go back to the boat before it runs out. You can return to your boat for any time to returning your viewpoint upwards and selecting Return to Boat. Your remaining oxygen will continue to decrease on your way back, so don't wait until it is too late. Oh, did I die? I failed! I drowned! Okay. Good to know. Alright. Okay, so it will steadily decrease. Okay, I'm doing much worse at this time, okay. Gathering complete. Okay, not going to be able to do much, but I do hope I get to play this mini game a few times. Okay, what do we want? You can stay for underwater longer, swim faster, and return to the boat faster, easier time. You can detect them. Diving, I think, is more important right now. I know my little Temmy is screaming right now. He was causing trouble, and so he's in timeout in the office with me. But he's also a big baby, so... No, I think I have it. That's fun. Okay, looks like you're all warmed up. Let's go out a bit further so you can look for something bigger. The biggest catch you can get at this time of year is probably abalone. Snagging it is just one thing to be proud of. But remember that sea creatures are living things. They change places every time you dive, so be careful. Open updates page. The Ama Divers. Kunishi Utagawa, all the famous products of land and sea, adapted from the National Diet Library of Japan's official website. The term ama, most often written with the characters meaning sea and woman, generally refer to women who freedive for shellfish, seaweed, and other marine products. It is said that they practice freediving both to prevent overharvesting and to help protect the marine environment. Although ama drivers operate in many regions in Japan, the Toba and Shima regions are known for having the exhibit of the highest number of ama drivers. These regions also exhibit customs unique to the area, such as the practice of carrying objects with the seiman and doman symbols to ward off misfortune. Even with Toba and Shima, rules and practices can vary greatly. For example, the practice of wearing white attire over the wetsuit is a common practice only practiced in the Shima region. Despite the high population of ama drivers in Ise Bay, there are none to be found north of Ise City. This can be explained by the difference in seafloor composition between the two areas. While the sandy seafloor near Ise allowed for net fishing, the rocky free floor in the Toba-Shima areas made net fishing difficult, leading to the adoption of free diving as an alternative. Abalone harvested by ama divers in Kazuki Town and Toba has traditionally processed into ceremonial dried goods known as noshi awabi, which are then presented as an offering at Ise Shrine. This practice is said to have originated with Yamatohime no Mikado, the princess who enshrined Amaterasu at Ise Shrine, was searching for a suitable food to offer the gods. When presented with abalones from an ama diver named Oben, the princess found them to be exceptionally delicious and decided that the abalone will be a primary offering for the region. As a result, the ama divers of Toba and Shima have a strong connection to this religion's Shinto rituals, and there are some regions where they perform ritual dances and offerings during Shinto festivals. Although ama is sometimes written with the characters meaning sea and man when the diver is male, this game only uses the traditional characters of sea and woman when the language is set to Japanese. Oh, that's fun. Okay, perfect harvest. The perfect harvest may eventually occur, instantly depleting your target's resistant gouge with a single action. The higher your diver rank, the more likely you are achieved to a perfect harvest. Let's see. Okay. The Noble Scallop. A bivalve with shells that come in a range of... A bivalve? Of bright colors such as red, purple, and yellow. Also known by the local name of apagai. Apagai. Okay. Alright. It's not like you have to master everything all at once. We can take off whenever you're ready. Okay, I can just take a look. Hello. Okay. This like reminds me of there was this diving game. It's like a pirate diving game that me and my family had. It was I don't remember the name of it at all. But it essentially had this electronic bit which when you turned it on, it would program where treasure was on the map as well as how deep depending on what tile. So you would go and you would have to gauge like how deep you can go to get the treasure before you drown. And then you just kind of lose the treasure. But I think about that game all the time, honestly. Okay, let's see. Got any begin? Ooh, what's this? That's a person. What the hell is that? No, get away from me. That's... Ah! Paranormasight The Mermaid's Curse. Written by Takanari Ishiyama. Character artist Gen Kobayashi. Hidenori Iwasaki. Kazuma Oishu. Dive failed. Oh, that was funny. Gathering complete. Rank up. Alright. Yeah, the first episode of this game is just me playing the diving minigame. Begin. What's that? The stickers, they're back. Oh, I'm so far away from the boat. I'm an ultimate gamer. Hey, looks like you got something interesting there, Yuza. Huh? Never thought there'd be a mockingbird stickers out here in Issei Bay, and at the bottom of the sea to boot. Mockingbird? You mean this bird sticker? I did think it was pretty weird to find a sticker in a place like that, so I decided to hang on to it. They're real famous. An unknown artist makes them and hides them all over the place. Might as well pick up any you come across. Maybe they'll bring you good luck. I see. Damn, I'm good. Maybe I should add treasure hunting to my lists of talents. Oh, hell, hell yeah. These popular bird mascot stickers seem to pop up everywhere. Nobody knows who the artist is behind these quirky and rough and tumble birds, or where they'll show up next, but they quickly became popular for their bizarre yet oddly cute designs. Be in the right place at the right time in Issei and all surrounding areas, and you might be able to find all 20 of them. Reach a total of 5 and 20 stickers collected to unlock fun bonus content at these milestones. Booby bravo. Anyway, time to continue diving. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Right, let's leave it at that for today. Good work out there, Yuza. You managed to get a fair bit of diving in, huh? I bet you feel like you're about a better grasp on things now. For sure, I feel like my diver rank's gone up at least a little bit too. So, do you feel any different now? Did your body undergo any weird changes? No, I feel exactly the same. Nothing's changed. I'm the same old Yuza I've always been. I guess we were a bit off the mark, huh? So what do you want to do now? Should we call it a day? Go back immediately. Talk about the hole! Azami? Before we head back, could we talk for a bit? Sure, what's up? This is Azami Kumoi, my best friend. I've known him since we were both kids growing up on Kamishima. When I told him I wanted to become an AMA driver, he was quick to offer his full support. So, when I was diving just now, a giant hole in the seabed you've never heard of before. Yeah, the rocks around it looked like they'd only recently had collapsed. So I think it probably opened within the last few months or so. Now that you mention it, there was a pretty big earthquake around here about 3 months ago. Maybe that had something to do with it? Oh, that's right. That would have been before I got back. Anyway, if you saw a giant hole in the seabed, you'd be curious about it, right? I sure would. Curious enough to try and take a look inside? It'd be pretty dangerous, but I guess I might, yeah. Right? So I went closer to try and get a better look. Did you see anything? Well, when I looked down into the hole, a ghost or something that looked just like me suddenly rose up from the depths. A ghost that looked like you. It swam toward me with its hand outstretched. It looked like it was trying to hand something to me, or maybe it was trying to tell me something. Man, what did you do then? Did you take its hand? I did. I felt like I couldn't resist somehow. I guess even the patron saint of diving does foolish things sometimes. The only thing I was a patron of was carelessness and a lack of proper vigilance. Sounds like there wasn't much you could do about it, though. Hey, Yuza. The thing you ran into, do you think it could have been a Tomokazuki? 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 Huh? You've never heard of it? Well, I guess not even all the folks around here know about it either. It does sound familiar, though. The Tomokazuki is a sort of ghost story around these parts. The story goes that sometimes, when diving, an ama diver will come across another version of themselves, an exact copy. That other version of them will be holding out something they want, like an abalone, or an abalone. Something they want. And when the diver reaches for it, the Tomokazuki grabs them and drags them to the bottom of the sea. Whoa, that's scary. But wait, the Tomokazuki that I saw wasn't holding anything. It wasn't? Well, that's different. Maybe it forgot it at home or something. At home, huh? The abalone? Yeah, the abalone. Maybe they left it at home. Huh. Maybe the Tomokazuki is more careless than the legends let on. You're pretty forgetful, though, so maybe it became such a perfect copy that it imitated this aspect of you as well. Oh, the damn Tomokazuki. It knows my every weakness. Now that you mention it, though, when I do remember that story, I think I do remember that story from when I was younger. I guess the fact that I forgot the story really proves how forgetful I am. Huh. No worries, it was a while ago, you know? Ocean. Kamishima is located in the waters near the entrance to Issei Bay. As such, there are strict regulations on both the times and places ama diving is allowed. That makes sense. Think. A Tomokazuki, huh? But why would something like that be here? This fishing boat, the Seiyun Maru, belongs to Azami's family. I don't have a boat of my own, so Azami was kind enough to bring it out for me. It used to belong to his dad, so it's getting on in years, but he takes good care of it. It seems he's hoping to keep using it for years to come. What happened afterwards? So, did anything happen after you took its hand? I don't really remember. When I came to, I was back outside the hole. I got a diving failed and then I restarted back on the surface. I thought maybe I blacked out due to lack of oxygen, but it had to be some sort of hallucination. I see. Yeah, I guess that's possible. But if that's the case, that means I stopped you just to talk to about some hallucination I saw, and that would be super embarrassing. Some people do say that the Tomokazuki legends may have come about because divers seeing things when they ran out of air. But hey, it's no big deal even if it was a hallucination. The most important thing is that you're safe. Still, I can't help but wonder about a hole suddenly appearing like that. Yeah, it's pretty weird. By the way, you know those symbols on your diving gear? Symbols? Yep, Seiman and Doman. The ama divers around here all have them somewhere on their outfits. Oh, this was my mom's gear, so I didn't know. People say that those symbols work as a charm to protect divers from the Tomokazuki. Interesting. But if I ran into a Tomokazuki just now, wouldn't that mean the charm didn't work? Maybe, but it could be thanks to the charm that you made it back safely. The sea is a dangerous place even with the Tomokazuki around. Things could have been even worse without a charm to protect you. I see, so without this charm I really could have been attacked by a shark. Glad I had it then. Seriously, a shark would have been no laughing matter. Open updates page. A long time ago, in a small village on one of the islands in the Issei Sea, there lived a young dama diver known for her exceptional swimming skills. One day, the wind was strong and the waves were higher than usual. Undeterred by the turbulent weather, the youngest diver dove into the sea, but couldn't find even the smallest shell to bring back, let alone any abalone. Or abalone. I have no idea. Determined to find something, she dove even deeper into the ocean, until she paused, sensing a presence behind her. Turning, she felt an undeniable sense that someone was watching her from the shadowy crevice in the rock. Finding this strange, she ventured closer, only to come face to face with a diver who looked exactly like her. As she floated there, stunned, the other diver extended her hand. In it was an abalone, larger than any she had ever seen. The young diver was mesmerized. She had to have that abalone no matter what. She reached out her hand to take it. Suddenly, when her fingers were mere inches away from the abalone, the other diver's hand shot out and grasped her arm. Shocked, the young diver frantically struggled to pull away, but it was too late. Slowly, inevitably, she was dragged down into the depths of the ocean. Over time, this became known as to be the Tomokazuki Together Diver, due to its taking on identical appearance to its victims. Divers are warned never to accept Tomokazuki's offerings in the depths, lest they suffer the same fate. The Tomokazuki is still greatly feared among Amadivers in modern times, and the same Enodoman symbols inscribed upon items they take with them when diving are charms said to protect them from it. Protective symbols widely worn by Amadivers in Shima and Toba. The star-shaped symbol is known as Seimen, and the lattice-like symbol is known as Doman. The two symbols are embroidered side by side or drawn on clothing using purple dye from shells. They are worn by Amadivers when they're driving off to Sorry, temmy. Okay, sorry about that. I made cookies, and I have one on a plate in front of me, and little Temtem. No? And then he got his paw stuck on the mat I use for my mouse pad and my keyboard. So it was just a big disaster. Hey, Azami, about the Tomokazuki just now. Yeah? Do you think it has anything of what we're looking into? LT, recollection. Unlocked past recollection chamber. Use the Unlocked past recollection chapter. Yuza Minakuchi. Something I want to do. My apologies for the interruption. I'd like to take this chance to inform you about a unique ability of yours, the recollection feature. But to make things clear, I first must tell you about the story chart. From here on out, you will return to this screen, the story chart, at breaks in the story. At least you would if little Temtem wasn't trying to eat the cookie that you were just talking about. You see, the story you will witness will not necessarily unfold in chronological order. The screen will allow you to see where each chapter lies in the grand scheme of things, as well as select where you wish to proceed next. If the icon for a chapter is not dim, that indicates it has not been fully completed. Generally speaking, completing a chapter will unlock a chapter immediately after it. However, there will occasionally be times when a recollection button will appear during the story as you experienced just now. Pressing the button will allow you to delve into a memory invoked by certain words in the text, which will then in turn unlock a new chapter, a past recollection chapter for you to experience. A most remarkable ability, is it not? Once you have unlocked such a chapter, it will become available in the story chart for you to peruse as you wish. This ability will be key in unraveling the tale before you, so be sure to press the recollection button when you see it come up. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. I love the way they do the framing in this game, and like how expressive the characters are and everything. It's like, it's so cool. Could your mom have been an Ama diver because she wanted to find the Tomokazuki? But then she wouldn't have worn something with the charm if that were true, right? Good point. Is that all you wanted to talk about? There's more. No, there's more. Actually, this might be the most important part. I realized there was something I need to do after this. Something really important. Hey, so you found a lead there after all? I'm serious. If I don't pull this off, something terrible is going to happen. Hey, I believe you. Go on, tell me everything. Underwater gathering. So let's do something I want to do. Let's take a look. A day before he sets off to sea as an Ama diver, Yuza Minakuchi asks Azami Kumoi to meet him at the Kantekisha ruins. I want to be able to say it. No. Why? Why? Why do you do this to me? August 6th, 1980X, afternoon. Kamishima. Kantekisha ruins. I see. If you say you want to be an Ama diver, then of course you got my full support. But something tells me you're not just doing this for Suyu. Some people are bound to talk if you become an Ama diver here. You must have some other reason, one big enough to risk everyone running their mouths. I knew I couldn't hide anything from you, Azami. Wouldn't even take me 0.2 seconds to see through one of your lies. So what's up? Tell me everything. Hey, Azami. What I'm about to say is going to sound pretty crazy. You still want to hear it? Sure, bring it on. Thanks. I'll come right out and say it then. I'm looking for a mermaid, and I need to find one by tomorrow. Oh, a mermaid, huh? And by tomorrow at that. Well, that's going to be tough. I'm being serious. In fact, I've never been more serious. I really do have to find a mermaid by tomorrow. I can tell you're not joking by the look on your face. You've got some sort of reason for saying this, right? Go on. I'm listening. Thanks, Azami. Mermaid search reason. Is it okay if I talk a little about the disaster 5 years ago? The disaster, huh? If you're okay with it, sure. I was in middle school at the time, and my parents had taken me into the bay on a little fishing boat. This massive storm came out of nowhere and sank all 3 fishing boats that got caught up in it. I was the only one that survived. Yeah, it was really terrible. Southern Sea Disaster. A localized storm that broke up out in the sea to the south of Kamishima about 5 years ago, resulting in a maritime accident in which a total of 10 people went missing. Overview. 3 fishing vessels had been set out to sea from Kamishima, were suddenly caught in an unanticipated storm and foundered, leaving all but 11 fishermen and Ama divers aboard missing. When the ships were later dredged up and searched, not a single body was discovered. The sole survivor was Yuna Minakuchi, who was a middle school student at the time. His parents, Tosuke Minakuchi and Mare Minakuchi, as well as Azami Kumoi's father, Kyokichi Kumoi, were among the victims. Locals in the area reportedly heard an eerie rumbling from the sea on the morning of the incident. So, what about the disaster did you want to talk about? Well, I've recently started to remember some things about what happened. For real? I know your memories of the disaster were kind of hazy due to the shock. But it's great you're starting to remember. Oh, but I guess it's not really something you'd want to remember, right? Sorry for getting all fired up. It's okay. It actually hasn't bothered me as much as I thought it would. Thanks for worrying about me, though. It's just the things I remembered are a bit strange, so I couldn't bring myself to say anything. Sorry for keeping quiet up to now. Strange, huh? Well, I can see why you'd want to keep it to yourself, all things considered. Don't sweat it. So, about the accident. When we ran into the storm, our boat got caught in a whirlpool and started to sink. My parents gave me a lifebuoy and lowered me into the water. They were frantic, and I was too stunned to do anything but go along with what was happening. I can imagine. It must have been really scary. The waves were knocking me about, so I took everything I had just to hold on to the buoy. In the end, I just watched as the boat was swallowed up by the water. I couldn't do anything else. There wasn't anything you could have done. It wasn't your fault, you said. But right after that, this huge wave came crashing down on me, and I got dragged down into the depths of the sea, life buoy and all. Huh? You got pulled under, but I thought... Yeah. Up until now, I thought I managed to miraculously stay afloat until I got rescued. But I remember now. I was pulled down underneath the waves. Huh. I remember being caught in the current and tossed about underwater. I couldn't breathe. I was so sure I was going to die there. But then someone grabbed my hand. Oh, wait, are you saying what you think you're saying? I was barely conscious by that point, so it's not like I saw them clearly or anything. But I'm certain someone was there with me. Someone who grabbed hold of me and pulled me to safety. And from what I remember... You're saying they were a mermaid. Exactly. So you were saved by a mermaid. I'm sure of it. And it looked exactly what first comes to mind when you hear the word mermaid. A real mermaid, huh? But it was a really extreme situation, so it's entirely possible I was just seeing things. Which would mean I called you here just to talk to you about some hallucination I had, and if that's the case, I'm going to be super embarrassed. I mean, you're standing here talking to me now, right? I must have gotten out of that situation somehow. I can't imagine any normal person being able to stay afloat in a storm like that, let alone managing to save someone. Same. You'd have to be some sort of superhuman or something. Or not human at all. Man, who would have guessed there were mermaids here in Issei? If I was really saved by a mermaid, I owe them my life. I'd like to thank them in person if possible, and for some reason I have to do this by tomorrow. Makes sense. So that's why you're looking for them, huh? Well, if we manage to find them, I gotta thank them for saving you too. So I was thinking about heading out to where the disaster happened, and diving there to see if I could find anything. Wait, are you sure? You almost died there. I'll be fine. In fact, since I've never gone near there since the disaster happened, I was also thinking. I'd like to do something to honor my parents and your dad's memory. Yeah, I'd like to at least offer flowers, if nothing else. The others have always kept their distance, but it's not like going there is forbidden or anything. Let's just do it. Thanks, Azami. I owe you one. Let me look at our surroundings. These are the ruins of an old wartime building, the Kantakisha. The building has been abandoned, so hardly anyone ever comes here, which makes it the perfect place for private meetings. Kantakisha ruins. The remains of this wartime structure are located atop a hill in eastern Kamishima. It was constructed to observe the impact of points shells fired from test firing range operated by the former military army ministry of Cape Arago on the opposite shore. Similar observation facilities were also built on Shugashima Island and in Ijuka, a town on the Shima Peninsula. Having been abandoned after the Second World War, the observation post has long since fallen into repair, and entry is now forbidden to the general public. Think. I should be able to tell Azami everything, right? Even though he's got a lot on his plate, Azami agreed to meet up the moment I said something. He's been looking out for me ever since I came back. I couldn't ask for a better friend. Mermaid search leads. But there's no guarantee the mermaid would still be around there, right? I'm thinking it'll be good to have more of a lead before we head out there. About that, do you mind if I say something crazy? Again, sure, what's up? You remember my mom, right? Of course I remember Mrs. Mare. Well, she wasn't originally for Kamishima, but she met my dad when she moved here and ended up marrying him. But even to me, she never really seemed to fit in here. Well, I can't really disagree there. She never spoke to me much either. Some people even outright told me not to talk to her, you know? They said she was suspicious because we didn't know anything about her, stuff like that. I guess that's understandable. She didn't really involve herself in community activities and almost never participated in local events. I felt like she was always keeping her distance from the other islanders somehow. 20 years here and she was still considered an outsider. Yeah, I never knew how to bring it up to you, but I always kind of wondered. Was there some sort of reason for that? Not as far as I know. Dad and Gran never seemed to mind, so I figured that's just how she was. But looking back at things, it was pretty weird. Yuza Minakuchi's mother. Having gone missing in the Kamishima Southern Sea disaster 5 years ago, she was declared dead a year later after search parties found no sign of her. More than 20 years ago, Mari Somikawa arrived on Kamishima with no possessions to her name, expressing that she had taken a liking to the local environment and wanted to move there. However, she remained tight-lipped about her background, only revealing that she was from a small town in the mountains and that she had had to leave her home for undisclosed reasons. And although her request to move to Kamishima was accepted, many islanders remained suspicious of her. After settling on the island, she showed an interest in the Ama lifestyle and eventually took it up after displaying a talent for freediving, with Tsuyu Minakuchi acting as her instructor. During this time, she came close to Tosuke Minakuchi, Tsuyu's only son, and eventually married him a few years later. The two would go on to have a son of their own whom they named Yuza. Despite this, Mari was unable to fully shake the air of mystery that surrounded her, and many islanders continued to question whether her presence on the island might cause some sort of trouble down the line. Something of a free spirit, her nonconformist ways and somewhat naive personality meant that she was often absent from local activities, leading to further criticism from a portion of the population. Some also reported frequently spotting her wandering the island after she first moved there, seemingly looking for something, or catching sight of her doing something on the shore in the middle of the night. Fortunately, her mother-in-law, Tsuyu Minakuchi, was a person of no small influence on Kamishima, and no one dared to open persecute Mari under Tsuyu's watchful eye. The three generations lived peacefully under the same roof for more than 10 years, up until the Kamishima Southern Sea disaster tore them apart. Since her disappearance in the disaster 5 years prior, a growing number of people have accused her of somehow being responsible, citing her various instances of suspicious behavior as justification. Well, I guess even though I thought she was a bit of an oddball at times. You say that, but I think you're getting to be pretty similar to her. What, really? Yep, what's that saying? Marching to the beat of your own drum? You're both like that. Really? I never realized. I've been so blind, a blind fool. Yep, there it is, that's what I'm talking about. But why'd you bring up your mom all of a sudden? Well, looking back now, there were always a few things that bothered me. Oh? For a start, no one ever told me where my mom was from. I mean, it sounds like no one knew. She was also a natural at ama diving, but I never saw her eat any seafood. And sometimes at night, she suddenly says she wanted to go look out at the sea before not coming home for hours. You think your mom's a mermaid. Huh, I guess that is all pretty weird, yeah. That's not all. When I was sorting through my mom's belongings, I found this. We usually keep it at the family altar, but I brought it along to show you. What is that? A fish scale? It's huge. It's got to be at least 7 or 8 centimeters long. I've always figured she just held onto it because it was a rare find. But once I remembered the mermaid, I began to wonder. What fish could this scale have come from? And why was my mom holding on to it? Whoa, hold it right there. You're not saying. I am. The mermaid who rescued me back then was my mom. I think it was my mom. What do you think? I don't know. It's pretty out there. Could that even be possible? So, your theory is that your mom used to be a mermaid, but she became human so she could live among us? Yeah, but she turned back into a mermaid when the disaster happened, and wasn't able to come back afterwards. How does that sound? I don't know. But after hearing your story, I just can't dismiss it out of hand either. If that really is the case, and my mom is really still out there in the sea somewhere, even in a different form, I was thinking it'd be nice if I could see her again. It might be because they're still treated as missing instead of dead, but it still hasn't really sunk in that my parents are gone. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like my pops is just gonna show up at home again like nothing ever happened. Though, even if your mom's alive, I guess it'd be hard for her to show up if she's back in mermaid form now. If my mom really does have some sort of connection to mermaids, then maybe that was the reason she never really fit in here. It might help clear up any mistaken impressions the others have of her anyway. I see. So you think by trying out ama diving like your mom did, you might also be able to find something out. And maybe if you're lucky, you'll run into a mermaid in the process. Yeah. And if I really am descended from mermaids somehow, it's possible that diving might awaken something within me. Oh, right, I hadn't thought about that. I guess if your legs suddenly become fins, we'll know for sure you're a second-generation mermaid. Okay. I think I've gotten the gist of what you want to do now. Thanks for understanding, Azami. I haven't been happy with how people have been treating you ever since the disaster either, and what they say about your mom. If there's anything I can do to clear the air, I want to help. Thanks, I appreciate it. Although, I don't know how people will react if you suddenly start talking about mermaids. It might be best to keep quiet about that part for now. Just say you're looking into your mom. What do you think? Yeah, I think that would be for the best. Okay, now that we've got that settled, how about we head out tomorrow morning? That sound good to you? Yep, I've been doing some training in secret, so I'm all set. What to do next? Still, having to find a mermaid by tomorrow is pretty sudden. What's up with the tight deadline? Well, sorry, I can't say right now. If we manage to find one, I'll explain everything, I promise. Well, as long as you tell me later, it's all good. Oh, here's an idea. If you're in that much of a rush, how about we talk to Tsukasa and Sato? Maybe they'll be able to help out. I wonder. It would be nice to have more help. But would they even believe me? The whole thing is pretty crazy after all. Besides, Tsukasa''s going back to the mainland soon. I'd hate to bother her now. It's true. Still, knowing Tsukasa, she might be surprisingly on board with the whole thing. See? I knew he'd be here. Whoa, speak of the devil. Where did you shoot to get here? Oh? Talking about something you didn't want us to hear, were you? Boys will be boys, I guess. Childhood friend, Tsukasa Aoi. High school student, apprentice ama diver, 17 years old. A girl born and raised on Kamishima, she has a bright and friendly nature and an inquisitive personality. Currently in her second year of high school, she boasts excellent grades and sharp intuition. She's been staying at a relative's house in Ise City since last year in order to attend an all-girls high school in the mainland, and is currently back on Kamishima for the summer break. Despite this, she frequently makes trips back to the island on weekends and has been trying her hand at underwater gatherings since the current diving season began, having long been interested in the ama lifestyle. Her estimated diver rank is 6. However, her teachers have been strongly encouraging her to aim for a national university. She has been friends with Azami Kumoi and Yuza Minakuchi since childhood, their close rapport making up for their difference in academic years, and it was more common to find her playing with the two boys than with girls her own age up until middle school. However, since leaving the island to attend high school, she has grown more conscious of their age difference and has put some distance between herself and them. She hit it off immediately with Sato Shiranami, a girl who came into Kamishima to lodge with the Wakamarus a few months ago, and was looking forward to showing her around the island, helping her adapt to life there whenever she returns home. 18 years ago, her still pregnant mother, Nagisa Aoi, moved to Kamishima alone before giving birth to Tsukasa shortly after. Tsukasa subsequently grew up in a single-mother household. Although she used to occasionally ask her mother about her father, her questions were always evaded, so she has stopped since inquiring. However, the fact that her mother never seemed to have any financial difficulty despite not working has led her to quietly suspect he may be still involved in some way. Hey, you've got it all wrong. We weren't talking about anything like that. Yeah, you've got to hear me out, Tsukasa. I was powerless to resist. I refused at first, but Azami insisted and... Oh? Tell me more. You might as well admit it, Yuza. And Sato, what's with the sudden keen interest? Sato Shiranami, an enigmatic girl. House guest. A mysterious girl currently lodging with the Shinobu Wakamura, a local Kamishima magnate. Roughly 3 months ago, Sato suddenly arrived on Kamishima claiming she was the child of a relative of the Wakamuras. She showed no sign of attending school or doing any sort of work, instead spending her days holed up in the Wakamura household, leading many islanders to wonder who she is and what she's doing there. Those who knew about Wakamuru's high-interest money lending behind the scenes speculated that she might be the daughter of one of his borrowers, sent to work as a domestic service to pay off a debt, but Sato herself is extremely easygoing and doesn't seem bothered by the endless rumors. A huge television fan, she spends much more of her spare time glued to the set in the Wakamura household, with her most recent obsessions being soap operas and 2-hour thrillers. However, she isn't really that fond of period dramas. She's good friends with Tsukasa Aoi, who is close to her in age, and the two can often be seen enjoying themselves wandering the island together. Let's calm down, okay? It's not like that. I was having a perfectly normal conversation. Yeah, sure, what anyway. Hey, don't just brush me off. You're getting pretty worked up, Azami. Don't act all innocent. You're the one who caused this mess, you know? Sorry to interrupt your fun, but I really did have something to say. Folks are worried you haven't showed up to the association meeting, Azami. You should probably get going. Oh damn, the meeting, it totally slipped my mind. Sorry, Yuza, I gotta go for now. I'll get in touch with you later. No problem. Thanks for coming even though you're so busy. Guess we'll be on our way too then. Sorry, but we have some important business of our own to handle. We won't be able to help up with whatever you're up to. Unlock past recollection chapter. Sato Shiranami. Advice. So did you hear what we were talking about? Only the part where my name came up. I didn't want to be nosy, though. I see. Well, thank you for coming out of all the way here to get Azami. I don't know what you guys are up to, but you piqued my interest. Be sure to tell me all about it later, okay? Anyway, see you later. Come on, Sato. Roger. Oh, one more thing. You better not forget the day after tomorrow. Tell Azami he better remember too. Sure, I'll tell him later. Okay, Sato being another main character. I want to hang out with the girls. Having grown close to each other, Tsukasa Aoi tells Sato Shiranami that she has something important to discuss. Sato! Sato! You got a sec? So, I was hoping to get a bit of advice. Tsukasa is so cute. The thing is, you're really the only one I could talk to about this. Sure, what's up? If you got a problem, leave it to me. Kamishima's living, walking, talking encyclopedia. Wow, that's a pretty impressive title, Miss Encyclopedia. Although, I think a walking talking kind of implies you're living already. Either way, I hope you can help. You know, even if it kills me, I'll squeeze every last brain cell I've got to help you, Tsukasa. Right, but you're supposed to be a living encyclopedia, so please don't go dying on me. Thanks for being there, though. For me, though. Come on, let's go somewhere nowhere else around us, then. August 6, 1980X, morning, Kamishima, Chuo Street.
Pardon me a moment, young ladies.
Yes? You mean us?
Yes, sorry for the trouble. I was hoping to get some directions.
Oh, are you here sightseeing? Welcome to Kamishima.
I'm afraid it's not quite as relaxing as sightseeing. We're looking for the Wakamura residence. Would you happen to know where it is?
The Wakamura residence? May I ask who you are?
Oh, of course. Please pardon my manners. My name is Yumeko Shiki, a housewife from over in Tokyo.
Tokyo housewife. Oh, a housewife.
And this here is Soto Kiryu. He's something like an assistant to me.
My pleasure. Yumiko's assistant, Soto Kiryu. Age, secret. A housewife from Tokyo who came to Kamishima to visit Kakamura. A man who visited Kamishima alongside Yumiko Shiki. Oh, you must be guests for the old man. The Wakamura house is just up the slope after you head through that alley. It's a bit of a maze, though. Want me to show you?
Ah, so it was that way.
Thank you, but I believe we can manage from here. Believe it or not, we've been running all around the region. We're quite used to the area by now. Oh. Futamigawara investigation. Yumiko Shiki. Got it. Take care then.
Ma'am, is something the matter?
No, it's nothing. I'll tell you later.
We'll be on our way then. Sorry for stopping you.
Huh. Those two had a really strange vibe. The old man sure gets some unusual guests. Yeah, there was something about them. Don't you think that kind of aura that sorcerers would give off? Ah, I know what you're getting at. I've heard those rumors too. Everyone's saying old man Wakamura has been super reliant on some shady sorcerer lately. Shinobu Wakamura, local magnate, the single most influential person on the Kamishima. Although born an ordinary fishing family on the island, he has entered his 20s during the post-war economic boom, and through tireless work and juggling multiple side jobs, he managed to amass a small fortune over the years. He went on to invest his fortune into the development of Kamishima, not only upgrading its fishing equipment, but also improving the island's infrastructure to entice businesses to set up shop on the island, efforts that have earned them the appreciation of people all over the island. He currently holds many key positions on the island, including serving as the head of the Kamishima Fisheries Cooperation Association. It is said that his appointment as the next mayor of Kamishima is all but confirmed. Although admired for his many contributions to the Kamishima's development, his personality leaves much to be desired. With many stories of him using force to get things to go his way, he is often high-handed in his dealings with others, fully aware that his position makes it difficult to oppose him. Having moved his main house and base of operations to the mainland many years prior, there are abundant rumors that he has since added loan sharking and land grabbing to the list of ways he's willing to add to his sizable fortune. It is said that he has certainly become an ardent devotee of a certain famous sorcerer in Tokyo, and often relies on their guidance when making decisions. They did say they were from Tokyo. Maybe they really are sorcerers. Whatever. Come on, Sato, let's go. Yep. Oh, Bay. So this is where we are currently. Let's go all the way to the other side of the island. August 6, 1980X. Afternoon. Kamishima Bay. Okay, this spot should work fine. Oh man, now that I'm actually going to talk about it, I'm getting super nervous. This little bay is quite hard to find, so hardly anyone ever comes here, including tourists, which makes it a great place to talk in secret. The sound of the waves and cicadas around us. It's your typical summer day. Now that we're here to talk, she suddenly looks like she can't get the words out. Maybe I should be one to nudge her and ask from my side. Alrighty, so you said you wanted some advice, so let's hear it. How can I help you, Miss Tsukasa?
Well, I do want your advice, but I'm not really sure where to start. Wow, I guess this really isn't an easy topic for her. In that case, let me start off with another topic to loosen her up. Talk about TV shows. Oh, Sukasa, that reminds me. Did you catch the 2-hour suspense drama the other day? Ah, right, you said you were looking forward to it. I didn't see it. Ma was watching a period drama. Darn. That actor you like had a good part. He turned out to be the killer, though? Aw, I wish I could have watched it. You did just kind of spoil it, though. I wish we had a VCR like yours. You can record music shows and watch them over and over, right? That sounds amazing. Not many houses on the island have one, though. Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a luxury, but being able to record and keep TV programs is the best. You love TV way more than I do. It's great that you can enjoy it whenever you like. Talk about summer break. I guess you'll be heading out to the mainland as soon that the Oban holidays are over. Yeah, I head back to my boarding school in 3 days, so I've only got until the day after tomorrow to take it easy here. Right. Time sure flew by. I'm really going to miss you. Me too. Only 2 days left, huh? 2 days. What am I gonna do? I guess whatever she wants advice on is time sensitive. Talk about advice. Yeah, about that. How do I even put this? Looks like she hasn't loosened up much yet. Maybe I should start from a different angle. Should I bring up from her side of a little bit of small talk? The only stuff that comes to mind are things I've been watching on TV. Some encyclopedia I am. I guess that was a lie. She actually looks like she's kind of embarrassed. I'm worried for her, but I have to say she also looks kind of cute like this. You really can't get enough of your TV. You think I watch too much? How much did you watch this summer? Well... I guess I'm pretty much always watching when I get home. Nice. You should thank Old Man Wakamura for letting you watch as much as you want. We're hardly ever allowed to watch TV at boarding school. Even at home, I'm always fighting with over what to watch with Ma. It makes it hard for me to keep up with the conversations at school, you know? TV's just got too much of an influence on everyone. Can't blame him either, it's pretty fun. So the plans you were talking about for the day after tomorrow. I guess it's a get-together with the others before you head back? Yeah, that's right. Plans with the zombie and Yuza. I couldn't give them much time for this trip, so I figured they might be feeling a bit left out. Makes sense, you're pretty close friends. Totally, even grown up they still do the dumbest stuff. I just can't leave them be. Maybe I should leave you all to enjoy it without me then? No way, we're the lucky ones to have someone as cute as you along with me. Man, I can't believe my summer break's already coming to an end. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Speaking of TV, I saw something on the morning news. Yeah, what happened? They say an Ama diver out on the mainland went missing at sea. Ah, yeah, I saw that too. I hope they find her safe. Apparently they're still searching, but it goes to show how dangerous being an Ama diver is. Yeah, even I've had a couple moments out there that have been way too close. When the catch is right in front of you, it's easy to think you can go a little bit further and end up pushing it just a bit too far. Sounds scary. You be careful out there. Now that I think about it, a while back, there was that story about old human bones found on the seabed near Toba. Whoa, I never heard about that one. That really happened? Creepy. Maybe it was someone who went missing at sea. I just hope it isn't like a curse or something. Yeah, the sea can be pretty scary. The old Ama grannies always told us, we islanders live with the sea. Never forget how fearsome it can be. That's why the Ama divers wear charms and mind the proper rites, right? Yeah, gratitude, manners, and restraint toward the sea are never to be forgotten. That's the first thing they teach you when you start diving. You know, Sato, compared to when you first arrived on the island, you've really brightened up. It might be thanks to all that TV. Oh, was I really that gloomy before? Yeah, up until a month ago, I felt like there was a little cloud hanging over you whenever we spoke. It was like you were kind of depressed all the time, like nothing in the world really mattered to you. Ooh, so that's how I came off. Sorry for being such a downer. Yeah, you didn't crack jokes like you used to now, either. But this? You? Way better. I'm having fun having fun stuff going on really brought you to life. Makes sense. I try to keep up the positivity. Okay, I'm ready. I'll just say it. Go ahead. So the thing is, I think I like someone. Alright, go on. We hardly get to see each other anymore soon. I want to tell him how I feel while I'm still on the island. Makes sense. I'll help however I can. So Kamashima's living encyclopedia. I've seen this on TV before. I probably know a thing or two that can help. For sure. Yeah, you don't sound all that confident, which kind of makes me a little nervous. But I tell you mean it. Thanks. I just don't really know what to do. So which of the two is the lucky guy? Huh? Who do you mean? No way. You don't tell me you think I like Azami or Yuza. Wait, you mean it's not one of them? Me falling for one of them, not a chance. They're basically like brothers to me. I can never picture a romantic relationship with them. Oops. Sorry, I just assumed. I call myself living, walking, talking encyclopedia and brag that I've seen it all on TV, but I guess I really don't know everything. Sorry. This is embarrassing. I'm going to go die now. Whoa, don't sweat it. Really, no dying. But then, who is it? No point dragging it out, so I'll just tell you. It's Shotaro. Ah, Mr. Wakamura's son. I see. He's sincere, smart, and pretty handsome. I can see why you'd like him. Right? He's back visiting the island for a moment, but he usually goes to university in Tokyo. I've secretly admired him for ages, but I've always never thought he'd see me as a kid, so I figured he'd never be interested. Now I go to school on the mainland by myself, and I'm even working as an ama diver. I think he might see me more as an adult now, more than before anyway. Yeah, that makes sense. So you want to let him know how you feel while he's still on the island. Maybe it's all just one-sided on my end, but I just can't keep these feelings bottled up. Then tell him, I'm with you. 21 years old, the only son of Shinobu Wakamura, local Kamishima magnate. Due to his father's influence, he was pampered by those around him from an early age, but he grew up to be a pleasant and sincere young man despite this attention. He is well regarded by those who know him, often being told that he has been blessed with sharp intellect, good looks, and a variety of talents. He is currently attending a university in Tokyo, and is back on Kamishima for summer break. Although his father Shinobu wants Shotaro to inherit the influence and wealth he has spent so much of his life building up, Shotaro himself has no intention of doing so. On the contrary, he is skeptical of the old-fashioned insular ways of island society, and regards his father as the very embodiment of these outdated mores, viewing him with utter disgust for his overbearing, vulgar tendencies and superstitious beliefs. You're staying with the Wakamuras now, yeah? Know anything about him that might help? Oh, I'm afraid Miss Encyclopedia might not have that kind of info. You don't have much info at all, do you? I mean, he's honestly not home most of the time, so there's not a lot there's a lot I don't know about him. Feels like there's always something good to do, checking in on folks all over the island. Like, I don't suppose you know if he has a girlfriend in Tokyo or something. I'm afraid I'm not sure. Tokyo's packed with beautiful girls, right? A guy like him wouldn't be left alone for long. Well, from what I've seen, I haven't noticed him keeping in touch with anyone. Then what he likes? Something he'd be happy to get? Let me think. Sorry, nothing's coming to mind at all. I really may as well just go die somewhere. Oh, come on, don't say that. Thinking it through with me is more than enough. You've got to stop poking about dying like that. Oh, Tsukasa, how about this? I'm pretty sure I can ask Shotaro to meet us somewhere. I'll organize that for now, and we can plan from there. How does that sound? Ooh, sounds good. Thank you so much, Sato. August 6, 1980X afternoon. Kamishima Tori. So, we kicked around ideas for the whole way back, but in the end, writing a love letter and heading to him is the best call. That's the plan, yeah? Yep, since back when, the tried and true way has always been a love letter. A classic method, I like it. You're heading out to dive tomorrow morning, right? Yeah, weather is looking good. Alrighty. I'll ask him to come to the bay a little after noon. Does that work for you? Yeah. I just need to have the letter ready by tomorrow. Hey, can you look it over before I give it to him? Of course. I'll fix it up even if it kills me. Thanks. I'll write it even if it kills me, too. I'm already so nervous. Hey, you two over there. Huh? Is that who I think it is? Ah, it is. It's Shotaro. Oh, wow. Speak of the devil. Hey, sorry to interrupt. Oh, he's totally glowing as usual. Is something wrong? Have you seen Azami? He didn't show up for today's association meeting. Oh, I see. I haven't seen him today. Ah, I think I know where he is. I'll go get him. Oh, you do? I knew I could count on you, Tsukasa. I'll let you handle it then. Sure, no problem. Oh man, he called me by my name. I'm so fired up right now. Let's do this. Yeah, let's... First off, let's go find those two. I bet they're up at the Kantekisha ruins. Let's go, Sato. Right behind you. And that is it for this episode of Paranormasight The Mermaid's Curse. Obviously, we have to do some scene setting if we're going to tell a proper mystery type story. Very interested in where this goes. We're getting a little bit of the spooky stuff, but nothing real in full force yet. So yeah, we'll continue this next time, and I hope you all have a great one. Bye!